It's Julie back at PilatesJ welcoming you. Today we are going to do a spinal extension series. So I just want you to start, you can be seated on a chair if your knees don't like this low kneeling position, but I'm just wanting for us to place a hand on our upper sternum and our lower abdominal area and just feel into our front body. So sometimes this collapses, and when it does, it creates a strain on our low back here. So just take some gentle movement here and see how this is feeling for you. And if we have a version of collapse, we've closed in across our chest as well. So today we want to lengthen and open. So we're going to come onto the floor. Prone means lying on your front. So we're going to lie on our front and start with some breath practice. We want our breath to come to the back and sides of our rib cage and not into the upper rib cage. Okay, so first of all, we're going to just flex through our toes with our heels together, rest our head on our hands. And just to loosen up our low back a little, we're going to keep our toes where they are and then just allow our heels to flop from side to side. So heels to one side, back to centre, heels to the other side. Beautiful. And you should just feel a subtle shift in your low back when you do this. Beautiful. So during this work, we really want to be mindful of our low back. And so we really want to work on connecting through our deeper core muscles. And we do that with our breath. So now, having done that little manoeuvre for our low back, we're going to allow our heels to flop apart while our big toes stay together, and then just wriggle through your legs, because we want for the legs to be inactive during this upper body part of the work. So just wriggle and get any tension out of your legs. We're going to start with the breath. So our head comes down and our anchor point is our pubic bone. When we're lying on our back, our anchor point is our tailbone. So just be aware of your pubic bone making nice contact with the ground, and keep your low back a little lengthened and soft in this position. So feel into that as we do 4 breaths. So we're going to breathe in to the back and sides of the rib cage. And as we breathe out, we're going to feel the connection through the deeper abdominal muscles. So the external fleshy part stays soft, but we feel the internal muscles engaging. So 3 more. You also feel a subtle sense of your shoulder blades drawing down your back as you do this. Beautiful. And now, keeping that connection with our breath, we're going to lift up through our sternum into what we call our diamond press. So we're going to do 4 of those. There's a breath in. Breathe out to that connection again. And then hold that connection, keeping the back soft, keeping the legs inactive, lifting up into the diamond press. Take a breath in up here. Feel that connection to support your return. And back down. Beautiful. As we come up, we want to feel the shoulder blades drawing down our back. Shoulder blades drawing down. Keep looking down at the mat as if there's something written on the mat, and that keeps the back of your neck nice and long. And notice that there's quite a space between your ears and your shoulders. So breathing into the back and sides of the ribs, connecting deeply, softening through the tail, drawing the shoulder blades down, keeping space between the ears and shoulders, and the legs uninvolved. It's a lot to think about. Breathe in and back down. Beautiful. Now we are going to activate our legs with a single leg reach. So our legs are long, and now it's our shoulders that we want to become uninvolved, our chest and shoulders. So let them wriggle and move, and just let any tension out of them. Take a breath in, and we're going to be working with our abdominals, our glutes, and our hamstrings. So focusing on those, engaging. Breathe out and allow this extension of our leg. As we extend our leg, we want our hip joint to stay long and soft down on the mat. Beautiful. So we don't want to lift up like this. So we want that sense of connection through here and a reachiness that engages the glutes and the hamstrings. Beautiful. So we'll do a series alternating the legs. The toes remain soft because they are not involved. We're working closer to the core through our glutes and our hamstrings. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to open our arms out to a 90-90 angle here. And we're going to take our diamond press into the Sphinx, which takes it a little further into this spinal extension. So our forehead is down on the mat to start. We can just leave our legs in parallel and long, but we're trying for them not to be too involved again. Breathe in and engage the core, those deeper muscles, and now lifting up a little further. We're going to start by keeping the elbows still on the floor and back down. So be mindful of that anchor point of the pubic bone and keeping our low back long and soft. So don't go further than you can manage to maintain that. If you can go a little further, then your elbows will begin to lift off the mat. But the elbows are not the first thing you're thinking about. You're thinking about the pubic bone, the long back, opening up across your chest, drawing your shoulder blades down, continuing to look down at the mat, and you've come up a little further with your elbows off the mat, if that feels okay for your back. Breathing, connect for the return. Beautiful. Now we're going to extend the arms long with the long legs, and we're going to reach through an opposite arm and leg. So this is going to take us into a version of swimming. So breathing in and just extend the arm and the leg and down. So now we feel the connection of the glute on one side and our lats drawing the shoulder blade down on the other side, and there's a nice strong diagonal connection across our back. See if you can feel into that as you work. We start off with our head down on the mat while we focus on making these connections. And then perhaps you can lift your head off the mat and come into this kind of work. So you can feel how you are extending through your back here. So it's a really slow version of the swim. You can, over time, let this build up until you've got the continuous action. So your glutes are on continuously, hamstrings working, lats working, and that's the full swim. And then just rest out of there. And just notice now your low back. Did you manage to keep that beautiful support through the abdominals so that your back could stay long and soft? Perhaps you did draw in and take a little tension in there, and so what we're going to do is to come into a rest position that just lengthens our back out there. So from tail through, we're getting a nice length in the back now. And take some lovely breaths here. It's also nice to go to one side, so left hand to the left and bring the right hand on top. And there's a beautiful stretch down one side of our back. And now we'll take the right hand to the right and the left hand on top. And we'll give the other side of our back some extra length. Beautiful. And now we're just going to come to an upright kneeling position. If your knees are happy to do that, you may need to cushion underneath your knees. So you just need to be mindful of your own body's limitations. Okay, so if this is good for you, we're going to float our arms up, and then we're going to rock back, which will engage the glutes, and we'll be looking to really keep our pelvic lumbar area connected and come back and feel a nice stretch through the quads. And return. So here's coming some beautiful length through the front line of the body. Lovely. When we return this time, we're going to draw our arms down and back and feel how we're opening up across the front of the chest when we do this. So really have active arms that reach back. Now we can alternate. We can come forward and come back, and then pressing the arms down. Let's this time add in a few little neck moves while we hold our arms back here, keeping the front of our chest open. We're just going to nod gently through our neck. And then we're going to rock back. Come forward, press down and back, and this time we'll just tip gently. So quite often our neck can hold a lot of our tension, so we just want to work very gently with the neck. And back we go again, and then pressing the arms down, we're just going to rotate. So gently rotate to one side, centre, and the other side. Let your gaze be soft as you do this work. Beautiful. And back. Press and come forward. Now we're just going to take, if it's okay for our neck, a little turn and rotate all the way down. And back. Very gently. Beautiful. And now I've got a cushion handy in case anybody can't go to low kneel for their knees. So sometimes when we close right in on our knees, that's compromising our knees. So it helps to have a cushion to sit on if you like. You can have two. And then in that way you can come to this low kneel position. So use your cushion if you need to. And now we just want to investigate again how our front body feels. So now soften into that little bit of collapse, lengthen up, and see if you have a greater sense of length. And then see if you have a greater sense of width across the chest. Beautiful. And how is your back feeling here? Thank you for watching.